All right, we are live. Hello,
What is
everybody.
up, everybody? Thanks for tuning in. Kind of,
Hey,
kind of experimenting a little bit with something new tonight. We're doing our live stream with. Got to give a shout out to Crypto Bobby for kind of giving us the idea on having him, or he had us on his show, and we did this. So, what's up, everybody? Killer,
Yo,
what's good, my
yo.
man?
How you guys doing? I just got back from Vegas. It was a good time. Vegas is a very interesting place. It's very fun, but like it's kind of a lot of kind of like odd people there, you know. So Vegas is fun, but it was a work trip, so not that fun.
At least you had everything paid for, though.
Yes, exactly. There's some killer
Did
restaurants there.
Did they give you some like per diem to go gambling or anything?
No, unfortunately, you can't expense the gambling.
That's a bunch
And
of
I'm thinking,
shit.
dude, like I know how to play like a little bit of like Texas Hold'em, but
Yeah.
I feel so awkward at the vast majority of the games because like I really don't know what I'm doing. Like I sit there like like trying to look cool and everything, but I have no idea how to play like 90% of these games.
It's funny because all I play is blackjack. The slots are a goddamn scam. Ponzi.com is what those are.
Yeah.
those are
Um,
my favorite.
Prince,
What's up?
first off, what's the weather like up in Canada land, man?
It sucks.
Is it
Uh,
still cold?
it sucks, man. I'm just living in paradise one day at a time. Weather sucks. Drivers suck. Roads suck.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
cold. Just another day in paradise.
Weather sucks,
So
road
we've got
sucks.
Crypt Tap Coin Zingas. Remember him? He was on the Noob 303.
Yeah.
He asked me today. He said, "Hey, before you go live, we want to know if this weather is a bull trap in Iowa or if it's actual gonna be because it's actually pretty warm. It was 40 some degrees today, but it's supposed to
Definitely a
get
bull
cold
trap.
again."
Yeah,
Okay,
Well, I
so
mean,
definitely a bull trap. There's no doubt
February.
about it.
It's for
I
sure
know
gonna be cold.
weather. Trust me.
got to give a shout out to two of my favorite ladies that I see are in here, Miss D and Colleen, ladies.
Yeah. Big
Let's
fans
talk about
of both of
let's
them.
talk about the current market, guys. What do you kind of having a little rally here lately? Looks like things are starting maybe to get back to normal. I know I see a lot of talk on Twitter if asking if alt season is in, but let's kind of get your thoughts and see what you think.
Yeah, so I want to be optimistic. I think, the default sort of mindset, I think just it serves you best in life in general is being optimistic, cautiously, carefully optimistic. But I'm not totally convinced of this one yet. I think I think so there's always that big chart that everybody posts. It's like Wall Street's guide to a bubble or something. You know the chart where it has like disbelief, like despair, it's like basically the stages of a bubble, the up
See it about
run.
5 times a day on crypto
Yeah,
Twitter.
it's like
Yeah,
the
for
most
sure.
posted chart on Twitter. And so there's like this kind of this battle between people who think we're either at the very beginning, like pre-parabolic, and like this is like the disbelief rally where everybody's going, "Oh, I don't really believe in this rally," but it ends up being like just a precursor to like a gigantic uprun.
Mhm.
And I could see that. Like if you look at the charts, it could look like that. But to be honest, I really think the charts look very similar to 2013, and I still think that's true. So I could see this being like the suckers rally, that everybody kind of gets
Yeah.
drawn back in on, and then all of a sudden we go down another 30, 40%.
So
It's
something
kind
that
of,
I found kind of interesting was today, and we saw a Zero Hedge article on it. Some
Not
big
me. I'm
buyers.
blocked by them, by the way, for the
You're
record.
blocked on
are
Zero.
you?
Yeah,
Why?
for real. I chirped at them one time. They put some stupid ass article out, and I was like, "You guys are a joke." And at the time,
I'd
I was pretty new, and I thought it
You
was just
guys are a
one person,
joke.
I'd block
and
you
they
too,
freaking
bro.
insta blocked me.
I would freaking you'd be done. I wouldn't even give you a chance.
What are you talking
But
about?
You're
You
too
have me
sensitive.
blocked the way it is.
but anyways, yeah. So they said, and I guess yeah, through a wallet address, they figured out that there was some big buyer that stepped in when all hell was breaking loose and snagged up about 400 million worth of Bitcoin. So yeah, that's a big
Oh,
number.
I saw that.
That's no joke. So that's an interesting thing to, I guess, keep in mind. And where we saw like that crazy volume coming in on that dump down where we were hitting around 6K US. Yeah, you can imagine that he was really stepping in there.
Oh man,
Our first
that's
question
nuts.
on Twitter is when bully on next by bully. I love
I
that.
didn't even see him comment.
Bully's got to have the most like terrible English speaking followers of anybody on crypto Twitter because he just gets the DMs he gets are absolutely ridiculous.
God bless Bully. That's all I got to say.
This is kind of an interesting question. I think we might be able to touch on real quick. Predictions for first 3 alts to take off.
ETC.
ETC is number 1. Lux is probably number 2.
Lux.
Of course, Lux.
I think
chart is kind of fugly though. I don't know. Oh, the BTC chart's pretty.
It's fugly as shit, but it's got the airdrop play, which I think it'll still run with it for a bit. It's going to be choppy as hell, and the swings are going to be big, which we've already kind of seen. It's done a nice swing lower here. But I think we're going to see it continue to go higher, and it'll flop around a bit. I think, though, especially as it gets closer to airdrop time, we're going to see that pump even more.
So, yeah. I barely consider this an alt. Or go ahead, man. Sorry.
Yeah, another one even to watch is Z Classic. Again, it had a crazy pump already, but it's got the airdrop too. And even though I think Z Classic is kind of just a turd coin, it's... it's a turd, and
turd coin.
You can't really polish a turd, so remember that, folks. But that's another one with an airdrop, so another one to keep an eye on.
Someone commenting here, this X Afuro X said, "What about ZRX recent listing on Bittrex?"
Oh,
did you guys see that? That freaking huge old green dildo.
ZRX is the 0x protocol, right? Like a decentralized exchange relay system.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they got some good pump under that, like a little Momo, some volume.
I like this project, but I'm so balls deep in AirSwap. Yeah, I like 0x, but I'm so balls deep in AirSwap. Like that's my horse, and I'm just riding it. That's my pony. I'm taking to the corral. Yeah. I don't know if that makes sense at all, but
I get it.
So I don't know. I'm a fan of that, and if I wasn't already in so deep, which maybe is a mistake on my part, I should probably diversify some of my decentralized exchange holdings into that too.
If you look at it, 0x is kind of the bigger player when it comes down to market cap, right? So you got a little more opportunity with AirSwap than say you do with 0x at this moment.
That's a good point, and that's part of why I like. I mean, 0x's market cap at this point. Do you know what it is, Prince? I'm looking it up.
I think it's close to $1 billion or so, maybe 800 mil. I don't know. I could be completely wrong. I haven't looked at it.
It's at 620.
Oh, 620.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I was off.
And then AirSwap right now is at a market cap of 94 million. So I mean, this is the thing with AirSwap right now is like AirSwap is 62 cents. The ICO was like 35 cents, and so like this is yet another opportunity where you're getting in near that price. And I really think this thing's a steal. As far as like another alt to take off, I don't know if you even consider this an alt, but Monero I think is poised to do fairly well. If you look at the Monero BTC chart, pull it up if you're in the chat or you're listening or whatever. The Monero BTC chart is really pretty looking, I think. And I think it's just about to break above like the previous all-time high, or nearly the all-time high for the BTC ratio. So that's going to be super. Yeah, it is. It's about to break the BTC ratio all-time high. So that's beautiful if it does that. And that's the thing with most of Monero is traded against BTC. So that's where most of the liquidity is. Yeah. So that's important. That ratio is super important. So I'm super bullish on Monero. Another thing Monero tends to do is it tends to lag other coins. It tends to pump like 4 to 5 months later than everything else pumps. And so
I think that's almost like a common thing in privacy coins in general. I'm starting to think like, we just had somebody mention Zcash in the chat, and like Zcash too. I think give it out to Zcash holders because those are some of like the strongest holders I've seen. Like they get absolutely shat on because Zcash will start to look really good, and then it'll just do a full retrace. And then it'll go looking really good again. It'll start a little breakout, and then it does a full retrace. But right now, it is looking pretty friggin' good. And the Bitcoin chart looks like it could really pop here soon. So I'm just hoping that Zcash doesn't pull a classic Zcash and just completely wreck its setup because it looks really nice.
Yeah, for sure.
Zcash is kind of like that chick when you're in high school, that just keeps giving you the eye, and then you like go to make a move, and it's just like, I wasn't looking at you. You had a freaking cliffhanger. That's why I was staring at you.
I got an interesting question.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead, Dale.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Go for it, bro.
Let's talk about Coinbase, guys.
The hell is Coinbase doing now?
So what it is seems to be is they're just charging people for past charges. I mean, or they're just like this one person saying they got charged 17 times for $1,000 purchase when they bought $1,000 worth of Bitcoin a couple of months ago, and Coinbase is just going ham and taking 17 times, $17,000.
Is this stuff like set up to like charge their credit cards, or is it like what is it charging? Like, because now
this one
I
just
might have
says
to
their
check
bank
my
account.
I'm gonna have to go check my bank account.
And this is a quote from the person. My bank account went from very comfortable to negative balances, not to mention extra $5 charges and overdraft fees. As a result, my rent check bounced, and my bank went further into negative for an NSF charge for $25. My landlord is not a nice person and is on my case, and I have nothing to offer him. I am freaking out.
And now I'm homeless, and it's all Coinbase's fault.
Now I'm homeless.
Coinbase.
Sorry.
They haven't hit me with any extra fees yet. We'll stay tuned on that one. I might still get hit with my luck.
CryptTap says it's a Visa issue, not a Coinbase. Thank you.
Oh, it's a Visa issue, and I haven't been tapped. Okay, this is good.
I feel like that's tough though, because I think Coinbase stopped accepting credit card purchases. I think they no longer even allow them right now. Like that was true as of a few days ago, I heard. I don't know if it's still true, but because obviously they had the whole thing where like, a lot of the credit card companies are shutting down. So you couldn't put like a Visa card or a MasterCard on Coinbase, but you could still do like a Capital One, I think, or like a Citi credit card or like some other kind of, like a Barclay credit card, Barclays. And so, but now I think they just have like a zero credit card rule. It's just a flat out ban of all of them.
It is. This Daniel Keller guy, I think, in the chat says that he got billed everything he bought on the dip 3 times.
What?
Yeah, but they put it back tonight. Debit cards are okay. It's credit cards.
Frick.
Okay.
Hey, this is kind of making me think of like the old times where my brother, I have a younger brother, used to game the system on Kraken. He would do like a double withdrawal, and then he would get like a double payout of his account. This is back when Kraken was like still pretty new. So he used to do a double withdrawal, and he would pretty much get double his money into his bank account. They didn't clue in for a while.
Yeah, for people who don't know, avoid Kraken like the fucking plague. It is a nightmare of an exchange. It had horrendous liquidity when I first used it like 2 years ago. It still has horrendous liquidity somehow, even though crypto's blown up.
It sucks because it's one of the only places for U.S. traders if they want to margin trade, right? Because they can get up to 3 times. But, a lot of guys kind of find a way around that, and we'll figure out how to use BitMEX or something like that. But yeah, it's, guys aren't left with a lot of options, especially when you're in the U.S.
I have an article. This is actually a question posted by Crypto Carlos. Shout out Crypto Carlos, one of my favorite new accounts on Twitter.
New favorite Twitter account, my man.
This guy's hilarious. Like his tweets are really funny, but just his account concept is really funny too. It's like a fake Carlos Matos. And so his bio is, the world is not anymore the way it used to be. No, no, no. And then the background picture is just the BitConnect chart, just like plummeting, just going all the way to 0 from like 400.
Give him a follow. It's B3ESTCONEKK.
Yeah.
I'm impressed you just spelled that out for everybody.
Well, I have it pulled up.
Yeah. He posted an article. What are your guys' thoughts on this article? They are trying to allow people to pay their taxes in crypto, but doing so triggers more taxes. Seems like a desperate field or a desperate effort to appeal to hodlers. And so that's a very interesting thing to me, because the way crypto is taxed is very strange right now. It's very gray, So if you have to pay tax by paying tax, it's like an absurd thing. Something has to change because it's completely ridiculous.
Not just that, then you're pretty much opening it up that the government can kind of try and trace your little blockchain trail of transactions potentially. And, I think crypto is kind of about privacy in a sense, right? So I don't know how I feel about paying taxes in crypto.
Yeah, totally.
I think it's the government's way to try and appease people in crypto and maybe say, okay, we realize there's some massive gains people are making if they're actually trading on a real account, not like us, we're on demos for the record, but you know, if they're just trying, in my opinion, trying to appease them and say, okay, you can pay with your crypto, but we're going to tax your crypto payment of your
Yeah.
taxes.
You know what I was
So
thinking it might be, and this is like tinfoil hat, but like, what if this is the way? What if this is the government's way of like getting a crypto address you own, and then they track the rest of your crypto through that one address they have?
Mhm.
Is that
oh, I
unreasonable?
wouldn't put it past them one bit.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Like, I would kind of be surprised if that wasn't what they were doing almost, because I mean, I don't think they really have a great way to track
No.
crypto holdings. I think they can track Bitcoin, but I think if you're like really smart about things and you're keeping everything in Monero or something, then I think it's very tough. But that might change if they can kind of link one of your crypto addresses. I don't know, but I'm just kind of thinking out loud.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
I remember seeing some about Google thinking about, well, they were thinking about putting in wallets into their browsers or whatever, and or yeah, I think it was something like that. And then, but it's just like, why the hell would I want to do that? You know, it's like, no, thank you. I don't want to share my info with you.
Right.
Totally.
Ashar, I'm sorry if I butchered your name. He got a good question in here. It says, are you guys mostly in alts right now or in BTC? When do you know how to switch?
So, what do you guys think
So
about that?
I think you got to pay attention to the state that Bitcoin is in. You know, when Bitcoin goes into super bull mode, we'll say, I think, you know, your best bet is, you know, to kind of be in Bitcoin because there is potential, a higher probability that your alts are going to see a decrease in their value, in your Bitcoin value, even though their US dollar will probably stay relatively the same. Um,
I
but
disagree with that. I like a lot of alts right now. I think Bitcoin is like, it's
yeah,
tough
right
because
now I like
Bitcoin,
alts. Like I think it's tough to decide though, like how to differentiate. You know, to me, it's just like whatever I like at the time, and I'm just going to play it. You know,
yeah,
so I don't know.
this might
Like
come as a
it's
surprise.
tough.
Bitcoin is currently 3% of my portfolio. And so I have a very small amount in Bitcoin. I'm like, but that's kind of my style though, is like I like making
Yeah.
like big ass bets and like very risky things, you know, because I feel like that's where you get the most alpha or basically
Yeah.
return over the mean,
Yes.
or over like the market average. And so you know, I have a very long time horizon. I have a high risk tolerance, and so for me, it makes sense to do that. You know, for a lot
Mhm.
of people, they'd say, "Oh my God, 3% in Bitcoin, you're fucking crazy." And maybe I am. You know, maybe I'll get wrecked. But
See,
so
I
I
got
like alts
about
right now.
I like alts right now. Majority of my portfolio is alts at the moment, but that at the moment I flip flop and I'll change my mind at a moment's notice if I feel like it. So
Yeah,
following me on a trade is never a good idea because knowing when I get out could potentially never happen.
Mhm.
Um, but I got about 20% of my portfolio is Bitcoin right now, and but a lot
Yeah.
of that I've been using to margin trade it pretty much
Sure.
on Mex. So I guess in a
Just
sense,
more
you
just
know,
collateral.
yeah. Well, here's how I look at it. Right, if you have a heavy exposure to altcoins, but Bitcoin is going in bull mode, for me, I want to be able to try to hedge that Bitcoin if I can. Right. So by going in and adding a margin long, a low leverage, you know, to the guys who are listening, if you're new to BitMEX, you know, heads up, like I don't use a lot of leverage when I go. The most I'll use is like a 3x position, really. But by doing that, you know, you kind of add this opportunity to hedge maybe the Bitcoin losses that your alts might be taking, even though your US dollar still looks good. But you know, at the end of the day,
This
it's
is where
just
everybody in the comments goes, Prince, you're a pussy. You only do
Yeah.
3x. That's it on BitMEX.
We already know Prince is a
Oh,
pussy,
Prince,
though.
I'm at like the other end of the spectrum. Like on BitMEX, I don't do anything less than like 50x. Like I'll start it or like 25. Like I'll start at 25, and if it's going poorly, I might like lower it, you know. But like
yeah.
more often than not, I'm just like swinging for the fences, and then I get liquidated. And I'm like, ah, fuck. I'm never BitMEXing.
I agree with you, Killer. I only have I don't have a lot on BitMEX, but I am go big or go home on BitMEX. It's
That's
you know
hilarious.
it's such a small percentage of my portfolio that
Yeah.
I just
Well,
thought
you
fuck
accept it. You're going degen, you know, you're
yeah
getting that
yeah
gambling out. See, that's how I used to approach it, but now it's like, okay, I'm done with that. I've gotten liquidated enough. I don't even care if it's a small amount. Getting liquidated just pisses me right off. It just ruins my day. So you know, and I'm a moody person. I am a cranky individual.
He's a
So
cranky
you're like
bear.
a yeah you are a fucking cranky bear. All right.
yeah,
Someone in the chat said they're 98% in altcoin or these all-star cards. So
Oh
let's
God.
let's bring that up and talk about that. That's been a hot issue the last couple
Oh
of days.
God.
These
So
Yeah.
crypto
yeah,
cards.
So
yeah,
my
hot
thoughts in
topic.
general, yeah, I don't think it's like a Ponzi like some people are saying. I mean, it has kind of some elements maybe of that, but I think I would just say it's a good concept. It's a good idea. I would say if you're looking at it as like a serious investment, be careful. And they say that on the website too. You know, if you're looking at this is for fun and this is a collectible item, so you know, if you look at it like that and you don't expect like a really good return or kind of liquidity in it, that's a big thing is liquidity.
Mhm.
For people to know, liquidity is basically how easy it is or difficult to convert a certain asset into cash or like
Mhm.
your local fiat. And I think it's very small with the crypto all stars because I mean you basically just have to bank on the fact that you're going to find somebody to buy it for double or at least 25% higher than what you paid for it, which is very tough to do because that increases really really quickly. So I can see a situation where people buy them and they really want to unload them and just can't. You know, maybe it's a lame Twitter account or, you know, I don't know. But I would say just, you know, as with everything, do your own research, read the website, read what they say about it, you know, because there are some smart people behind it. So
See, here's
just
my thing is
expectations.
how now I have a card up there as of today. Um which I guess I haven't really watched it too much.
I
But
own, by the way, so you're
oh,
my
you own
bitch.
me? Oh,
You own
that's
Prince?
good. That's good. Um,
What a waste of money.
you know, now
I
here's the
don't
thing, right?
actually own
You
you.
look
I
at the
have a
structure, you look at how it's created, it really doesn't make a whole lot of sense, right? So, and it's like, you know the guys behind it, and they're good guys. They're not out to try to scam people. You know what I mean? They're honest. They're pretty straightforward, and you know, so to me, that's out of the question. But I think a lot of it was just how strategic maybe their planning was. It doesn't really feel like there was a ton of planning necessarily into it because I got to say, like, sustainability with the way the pricing is set up to me is kind of wild in a sense, and you know that needs to change. And so you know they've said they're working on modifications and how to make it better. Which you know it's a wicked concept. Let's not kid ourselves. It's a really cool concept, and I think they can do a
Yeah.
lot of cool stuff with it. But there was some serious planning issues, in my opinion, when it came down to the pricing and how it was all operated within this market. Because you know, really the way it's set up, it's like what the price doubles or something every new buy.
It doubles every new buy until a certain point, and then it goes up 25% each buy, which is still a lot. You know,
Yeah,
that
which
still adds
is
up
it
very, very
is.
quickly. I mean, if you're
yeah,
compounding at 25% every single time, that's going to increase incredibly quickly. And so I think that's kind of the main issue is that they go up too fast. And like the barrier to entry for purchasing any of them is like exponential, basically, you know? So I mean, the first day a card comes out, anybody can buy it. And within like a few hours, like very few people can buy it. And so I think that's an issue
mhm.
there. We'll have to work out somehow. But like you said, some smart people behind it. So I think it has some
Yeah,
potential.
Some smart people and some motivated people, in my opinion,
Yes,
that
absolutely.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah,
it's people like them that make this space, you know, pretty cool in what it is now. You know, am
Yeah,
I a big
totally.
fan of these cards? They're okay, and as long as you're not in it in my opinion, as long as you're not in it to make money off of it, and you're not spending more than you can't afford to get back if someone doesn't buy your card. And like they said clearly on the website, it is for fun and
hmm
stuff like that. But did I spend any of my Ethereum on this? No. So
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You gotta protect yourself, right? And that's why like I really wouldn't advise anyone buying any of them. Love the guys behind it, but this is just me being honest. It's like
Having said all this, sell all of your possessions and buy the killer card as much as you can, everybody, because some of it's coming back to you, boy. So I'm gonna be honest about it. And no, I'm not giving it to charity either. So I'm gonna keep it and probably blow it on something stupid. So deal with it.
mine will probably
Anyway,
just go to new winter tires.
yeah.
I've been slipping all over the road.
This is
and a
a
new
question.
parka.
Yeah, this is from a good follower on Twitter, Danny314. His username or his handle is Danny_314. It might be two underscores. I can't really tell. But Danny314 asks, do you think we will start to see some easier ways to spend crypto directly with physical cards in 2018?
Mm, it depends on the banking institutions, stuff like that. Which we've seen a little bit of standoffishness. And I think there was a lot of stuff going on where there was these coins doing ICOs. They're like, we're going to have a crypto debit card. And then it turned out, Visa and all these, Visa and whoever else, they pretty much got in touch with them and was like, no, you're not. You're not going to do this.
It's like,
Yeah. So I do think we're going to see it all become a lot more accessible, but I think it's going to have to be done properly. And there's going to be a lot of paperwork, a lot of regulatory hurdles. But over time, yeah, I do, and probably within the year, we'll see it.
I would have said yes, but I think with the whole credit card thing, I think it's going to be tougher and tougher to form these relationships and link crypto to physical debit cards and credit cards. So I'm a little apprehensive. I don't think it'll be easier. And to be honest, I don't really care because I would never I don't want to spend any of my crypto. Like it's painful to liquidate any of it. And so I mean, I guess if you're just like hoarding Bitcoin and you're like, I'm just living the Bitcoin life and paying for everything with Bitcoin, then maybe, you'd like it to be a convenient thing. But for what I kind of am in crypto for, I think it's counterintuitive.
Yeah. With you on that.
I think that one thing too that maybe needs to be considered is, these cards' relationship with the banks. Maybe the banks are saying to them, if you support this, we could end, I don't know, just something to think of, maybe. Maybe I'm completely off the rocker too, but
yeah.
Well, I don't know. We'll see. I think so too. It'll definitely be a matter of time before
Someone says here,
comes out.
Metal will be a game changer. I don't really know much about Metal on its technical standpoint, white paper, all that crap. I know it's like a payment dealio. And I think they have a proof of payment or something like that, where it's you can the way a proof of work thing is, but it's proof of payment where you can kind of get some cash back in a sense for making payments with it. But it's funny because I was actually just looking at the chart the other day. Now they're on, I don't know if I want to say Binance or Binance.
There it is.
I am torn. I'm torn. I kind of like Binance, but anyways,
He's torn.
Looking at that chart, that is a pretty nice chart. I haven't seen a volume profile like that in so long, because they got delisted off of Bitrex not long ago, and it just dumped to shit. But it's a solid project, it's it's not garbage. It's not a total scam.
What's the quick 30-second episode on Metal? Because I know nothing about it.
I used to trade it months back during the summer, but so the basic is it's like a payment processing kind of thing you can do within their app, something like that, and you can use crypto for it. And instead of a proof of work algorithm, it's a proof of payment. If I'm not mistaken, I could be mistaken, because it's been a little while. And then you kind of earn these rewards like a miner would, but it's for making a payment kind of thing using their app.
We got a question from Crypto Milton. Wendy's or McDonald's?
Oh, hold on. Someone asked if I'm French. Yes. Je suis français.
Actually.
Je parle français depuis longtemps.
You speak French?
Yeah. Oh, oui.
Dude, I just got turned on.
I do not. I'm fapping as we speak.
I've got to go McDonald's for sure, without a doubt.
What are we doing?
McDonald's or Wendy's?
Wendy's or McDonald's? I'm going Wendy's, I think, actually. Which is what are these?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we got both. I have a fast food issue. I get, it's I'll stress eat. I'll stress eat sometimes, especially just lately. It was midterms. So I finished a big paper today. I was like, frick, yeah, I'm going to go get myself a Big Mac. So
yeah,
I'll tell you what, after Prince comes out of hibernation, he just goes to Wendy's and just wrecks it. Just chili cheese fries, spicy nuggets, Baconator.
Yeah, I was gonna say, honestly, Prince, what do you order? Pull up and be in your monster truck and be like, I'll take 6 Big Macs, 3 large fries.
What's the go-to, Prince?
The go-to? What do I order?
Yeah.
Oh fuck! You guys don't know what I order. I'm a
These
pig.
baconators, right?
You
I
know,
think.
I'm a pig. I hit up the value menus. So you want to get bang for your buck. You want to get a good deal. You know, you want to get your money's worth. You hit the value menu every friggin' time. You know, there's no dispute in that. The value menu is where you get your best stuff.
When I go there, I get the McChicken and a McDouble and fries. That's my go-to.
It's all right.
Hey,
Yeah.
we got
Gat's
asked.
another fan of the McChicken. Shout out
Gat
Gat.
is?
Yeah, Gat's like a McChicken connoisseur.
Oh,
Is he
junior
really? I
chicken
love
and
Gat.
McDouble. You put them together. You got yourself a McGangbang. I don't know if you guys do that. Do you guys know of the McGangbang? This is a very
No.
big thing out here.
No.
So, okay, you take your McDouble from the value menu. Let me add to you. Okay, it's from the value menu. All of this. It's beautiful. It's like $3.50, and you got yourself a monster of a meal. So this is living on a budget. Okay, I've been very broke before. So you get your McDouble and you split that open. You got a patty on each bun. Then you take your junior chicken and you flop that puppy right in the middle, and then you get the bun on top, your patty on top, and then you got yourself a monster of a meal, and you're gonna
This
enjoy
is
it.
disgusting, Prince.
Oh,
That
you'll
sounds
enjoy it.
awful.
You'll repaint the
Speaking of
inside of your
disgusting,
toilet, but you know it's.
I'm
you'll love
sorry,
it.
Miss D, but fish fillet? No,
No
no, no,
way,
no, no.
dude.
You don't get
No.
any fish from any fast food place ever, unless
I
it's Long John
just
Silver's,
strongly
which I don't even know
disagree
if it
with you.
exists anymore.
Strongly
No fish
disagree.
fillet.
The fish fillet at McDonald's is amazing.
No,
If you're eating fish from a
no.
friggin' fast food restaurant, I'm
You
sorry.
goof.
Just reevaluate it. No way.
Hey,
One
you
time,
guys
guys, I
can
got
go fuck
sushi.
yourself.
Yeah, I got sushi from a 7-Eleven, and I swear, like, I was just like, I was on the toilet for like 5 hours afterwards. It was a disaster.
You don't eat fish. Like I think anything sushi from a gas station. Like good luck. Good luck. Good luck.
I don't understand your guys' hatred for the fish fillet right now. I'm
It's
severely
fish from a
disappointed.
fast food place, bro.
Dude, it
Come
is
on,
so
just had it
good
like
though.
3 months ago. Like from some
We got
like
asked on Twitter,
think.
guys, what our exit strategy is when
Lose
we go
everything.
to what?
That's my exit strategy. Count blows
Lose
up.
everything?
I have nothing.
Our exit strategy is what when we go to what
Like,
fiat?
what's our exit strategy? I'm
Oh.
assuming they meant from like a
Coins
coin
in
or
general?
something. Yeah.
I see. My investing style is not really like that, so I don't really have like. I mean, if I have like a trade open, then yeah, I'll try to pick like a target before I even open it. I think that's something we've heard from a lot of good traders who we've had on the show that I've kind of picked up on is have a plan before you even get into the trade.
Mm-hmm.
So whether that's 5% up, 10% up, depends on the chart, you know. So, but really, a lot of my style is kind of just holding. I mean, I have a portion that I trade with actively, but vast majority of stuff is just holding. So. It doesn't really require an exit strategy,
Yeah.
I guess, that kind of stuff.
See, I got no problem going to cash
This is
whenever I want to. So that is a big thing. Whereas, I have to take the consequences of dealing with the tax man because of this in large amounts and all this shit. But it's, taxes suck. But yeah, I think being able to flip and go into cash when shit is hitting the fan, I like having that option. I know there's some guys who hate that idea and they will never go close to it. It's just hodl. So yeah, I think but it's different, right? Everybody, it's their personality. Canadian cash ain't real cash. Yeah, it's true. It's monopoly money. It's colorful as hell.
yeah.
Does your guys' cash have like grizzly bears and polar bears with cokes
We
on
got-
them and shit like that?
We got like moose. Yeah, we got some moose. We got a beaver.
The
We got some
beef,
kids.
huh?
Yeah, we got some kids playing hockey on an outdoor rink. We got like a goose. We got a bear. We got it all.
Syrup, it's like the
Yeah, we got it all.
$1 bill.
Yeah, we got it all. It's crazy out here, man. It's just wild.
How do you, this is Dancer is at real private bar on Twitter. What's your crypto life and your daily life without being paranoid?
Crypto life and daily life. Okay, well,
Without being
It's kind of like
paranoid?
crypto with the real world.
crypto with the real world. Okay, well, here's this. I used to wear. So I'm a student. I go to university, and I used like all last semester, I would always wear a Bitcoin hat. Like I have this one Bitcoin hat, and it's like I would always wear it. It was dirty as hell, but it was like, my lucky hat. I was like, okay, I'm just going to keep wearing this. I don't give a shit. Well, of course, as Bitcoin keeps going up a little more, you start getting a lot of looks when you wear a Bitcoin hat. And some of the looks get a little weird. So I don't do that anymore. I don't advertise anything about Bitcoin when I go out in public anymore because, yeah, people look at you a little funky. Like, they'll stare.
I'm in, in Iowa, so I don't really have much of a problem with it. I mean, I wear my Bitcoin shirt out that from Listen Destro, shout out. And I don't really get much. Some people will be like, "What's that?" And I'll say Bitcoin, and they'll be like, "Oh, are you a drug dealer?" It's like, yeah, man.
Yes.
Hey, and real quick, Barney, fuck you.
I saw his comment. What's it like being 5'3", 210?
Yeah,
aimed at
been asking that the whole time.
Yeah.
Hey, Barney, just remember, I own you.
I just got some guy saying, "Bro, it's called college." No, this is called a university, bro. So
college is in the United States. Prince is not.
This is university. So
when Iowa moon, we're mooning as we speak. It's 45 degrees out. It's gonna be 50 this weekend. Sell.
Isn't that crazy how like that's warm to you? Like I hear that and I'm like, oh my god, 45.
Yeah, it's nutty.
That's disgusting.
Let's see. What else we got
in here? Yeah.
We're on a low volume melt up. Is the rally sustainable? We kind of touched on that earlier. I don't know. I think it's too early to tell.
I'm still waiting for the tether machine to come back. So I don't know. It's been awfully quiet the last little while. Which I think is awesome because it kind of puts some people, it kind of got them to shut up a bit because a big narrative was, oh, well, Bitcoin's only pumping because of tether. Bitcoin only goes up because of tether. It's like, yeah, just shut up. You know what I mean? Like, stop it. And this whole thing now, what we've seen with the huge crash to around, well, I won't say huge crash, but, the tumble down to about 6K, it was pretty big. And the amount of volume that came in there, and there was no tether getting printed, I think, and we've seen the rise now. We're up where we are right now from that 6K mark. This has been largely just cash based, not tether based. It's been Coinbase GDAX kind of thing, GDAX especially. So, yeah, I think this has been good to see because it kind of gets that tether crap out of the air of, tether pushes Bitcoin.
Did you guys see that thing about some guy in Puerto Rico who's like, by the way, some inside information, I confirmed with the tether people, they don't have the reserves. And I was like, who is this guy? I don't know who this is, but apparently somebody either confirmed that they really don't have I'm sure everybody's like, that's FUD. It wasn't true. Like, oh, you're an idiot. Yeah, but I heard something about maybe somebody confirming that they don't really have the reserves.
Oh, but, that came out actually. It did, and I think it was true too. But I think they'll do what they got to do to make sure everything keeps running because they got a gravy train going for them. That's not going to stop if they can help it.
Yeah, for sure.
Tyler, I've been to Hawaii. He says, "What's the furthest you've been from Iowa?" I've been to Hawaii. Thank you. All right, let's move to over under, guys. We're kind of going to start wrapping the show up. So, we're going to do price targets for 2 weeks. Over under, you guys know, for those listening that don't know how this works, we'll give a coin, we'll give a target in 2 weeks time frame, and then we're all going to say if we think it's over under. So we'll start with Bitcoin. Currently on CoinMarketCap is at 10,248. Over under 11,500 in 2 weeks.
Over. I want 12.
Oh, that's good. I'll go over, but I think maybe it kind of hovers in that range. So I could see it kind of peaking over, but kind of just because I think it's going to take a little bit because that was a hell of a drop we had, so it's going to take a little bit of time, for that to kind of the market to kind of digest that and to work it out of its system,
I want to see 12K, honestly. I think we can get 12K, and then maybe it's time to reevaluate things a little bit. But that's kind of my target right now. So we'll see if we get it. Targets have been known to not play through. So
I think we're going to be under 11,500. I think I agree with you, Prince. I know we're going to touch 12,000, but within 2 weeks, I think we'll kind of set. I'm perfect world. We're going to sit and consolidate between 11,000 and 11,600 ish, and then alts are going to party. Okay, next let's do Ethereum. Currently at $947 on CoinMarketCap. Over under in 2 weeks. 11,500. Or I'm sorry,
11,000.
1,000. Yeah,
I'm going under.
Over 1,150.
I'm gonna make a bold call and say under, and I'm gonna say it's because we have a flippening. Ether Classic takes over. No, that won't happen. I got a bag of ETC. I don't got a bag of Ether right now, so you know where my loyalties are skewed to.
Let's talk about something. I've seen this question. This relates to Ethereum, so I figure this might be a good time just to bring this up really quick. Who is it? Hidden Hand, I think. Yeah, Hidden Hand on the chat is asking thoughts on proof of work versus proof of stake, and how do you think Casper will affect Ethereum's price?
I don't know. Honestly, I don't even know what to say to it.
I think it's tough. I mean, I think proof of work obviously has some disadvantages. The energy costs are crazy, even though I think that stuff is getting dealt with a lot. Proof of stake, I think, has some advantages as well.
Doing proof of stake, it'll be interesting because the network is so big. How is it going to affect it in that transition? So I'm curious to see how it plays out because most proof of stake coins, they're not as big as Ethereum is, right?
Yeah, I mean, have we ever had a coin that's been like, I know the answer. We've never had a coin nearly this big go from proof of work to proof of stake. I mean, I can't really name any that have actually done that. And so I think that's a very tricky. I mean, so cryptocurrency is completely a thing of incentives. So it's a system of incentives that basically compel certain behavior to keep the network running. That deals with rewarding miners, which makes them more profitable, which makes more people mine, which makes the network more secure. It's all a big feedback loop. So for people who are mining Ethereum with proof of work, they were making a pretty good living. Not a living, but they were making a lot of money doing this. Ethereum's doing great. Their price is obviously going through the roof. And it's really hard to convince those people like, hey guys, we're sorry, because like these people have made, they've gotten comfortable with mining Ethereum. And so I think that's going to be really hard to like disincentivize or, those kind of people to not. It's going to be tricky. I don't really know how that works out.
I think I saw somebody post this. I can't remember who the hell posted it, but I wish I could give them credit. What they made a good point is as we get closer and, this proof of stake implementation happens, how is this going to affect the miners? Because it's kind of a hybrid dealio from my understanding. How is this going to affect their profitability? Because now, there's kind of added competition in a sense. And is that going to flood into Ethereum Classic mining potentially? Because Ethereum Classic doesn't plan on doing that switch. It plans on, staying in that proof of work state. So who knows? Maybe that is something to watch for, right? There's so many different possibilities and scenarios that can play out. It's going to be fun to watch, though. It's going to be entertaining.
Yeah.
You guys want a quick crypto confession from me?
What?
Sure.
So, like, one of the first couple of weeks I was in the game, I saw someone say something about, check out this new POS coin, blah, blah, blah. And I read it, I'm like, huh, joke's on them. I'm not buying that piece of shit. Like, I literally thought the POS was a piece of shit.
Forever.
Not buying that. All right, moving on. Monero is currently on CoinMarketCap. It's $298. Do you guys think it'll be over $330 in 2 weeks?
Yeah. I think if I'm over for Bitcoin, I got to be over for Monero. So.
All right. Me too. I'm going over.
Yeah, so,
because I have a bag.
Yeah.
It's funny. I'm waiting to see privacy coins just take off. Like I'm waiting because
soon
they have, in comparison to so much of the market, let's be real here. Like Monero is so undervalued. Like for the technology it brings, it's really freaking cool. But privacy coins, they kind of lag when it comes down to the real huge rallies, I almost find, which is funny to say that they lag because they're still doing great. But in terms of, like say maybe a smart contract platform or something, just not as hyped. But
Yeah.
Yeah, they do. If you look at the charts, they tend to lag. They tend to up like 4 to 5 months earlier. I think, yeah, it's weird. I don't know why, but
mm-hmm.
I'm going over for sure. Over
Shocker.
350.
Shocker.
And got a big bag.
Yeah. That's how I got my bag too. Because
Someone asked
still
if
did goddamn enough.
Someone asked XVG Verge is actually a privacy coin. I don't know enough to actually make an educated comment on that, but from everything I hear, I wouldn't really count on it to be a go-to privacy coin. I'll just leave it at that.
What a dick move.
Actually, I want to touch on some things. Like Daniel Keller says Monero is 35% botnet mining. I think it's actually more like 60%. I think it's actually 5%.
Well, what was Not So saying? Not So gave us a stat for it. I think it was more than that even.
Yeah, I was being conservative with 60. I think it's really like 70. It's really high, which is concerning.
I was feeling 75.
Wasn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't
I don't know
matter
what 2/3
right.
of all mining. I'm pretty sure comes from.
And bad thing because like in one sense the mining is super centralized, which is not a good thing. But on the other hand, if all these botnets are just running on like every single computer all over the world, like Not So Fast said, it's going to be a network.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's another quick question with Monero. It says, do you think the fact that it provides a lot of problems for the government hurts its growth? Yeah, because
yes.
I mean, you look at like, ever adding Monero. I just think it's counter to their business model. They're very, compliant with the government, with regulators. You saw that with them handing over the tax records. So I think absolutely it does hurt its exposure and its growth.
Yeah, I think Monero is it's gonna have that fight. It's gonna have more of an uphill battle, but I don't see it going anywhere. To me, there's just no chance of that really. So it's a pretty wicked network they got.
Yeah.
Okay, last hot coin that everyone's talking about, Ethereum Classic. Currently at $34.31. Airdrop coming up in 2-3 weeks. Will it be over before the airdrop in 2 weeks? $45.
Better be over. Frig. I'll be unimpressed if it's not.
That's like about a 50% increase from here. I'm gonna go under. I'm like anti-Ethereum Classic though, so this could just be my bias, but I'm definitely going under. I'm good, so bad. I've just never been a fan of the coin. I think it has very little use case. I think it gets a lot of its exposure, if not all of it, just by having Ethereum in the name, because Ethereum's like the bell of the ball right now.
Right.
I mean, new people coming into crypto, they all hear about Bitcoin and then they go, oh, it's a way better Bitcoin,
Yeah.
They oversimplify it. They love Ethereum. And I think a lot of that trickles down to Ethereum Classic. I mean, Ethereum Classic has a $3.5 billion, and I don't really think it's used for anything right now. Store of value, I don't know why you would use it over something like Monero. As a big smart contract platform, I don't know why you would use it over something like Ethereum. So
right now, its big thing is it has a Wall Street connection kind of linked to it to promote it, we'll say. So having Barry Shilbert, however you want to call him, that is a good connect to have, and I think that really does help the prospects of Ethereum Classic. I think we're gonna see more action with it. I just think people get hyped about coin drops, airdrops. It's just free money to them, right? And so just playing on market psychology, I think we won't see an NXT type move. NXT just went completely insane. I don't think we'll see that because there is accessibility to short, the Bitcoin and the US dollar pairings on Bitfinex. So that kind of changes the game a little bit. But yeah, I'm going with ETC. I like it. It's a big chunk of my portfolio at the moment. So
I think it'll be over by just a tinge. I agree with you, Prince. There's no way in hell we see an NXT pump on this one, in my opinion. But I still think it's going to pump. People love free shit. Yeah. So I think they'll get in, and when they're getting in, my ass is getting out.
See, what I got to figure out is what the supply. Like, I don't really know anything about this Callisto network, honestly, which is probably my own fault. I should do more research on that. What I'm really interested in is seeing what the supply is going to be like for this Callisto network, because that'll be interesting. Because if it's just like a one-to-one airdrop, and say Ethereum Classic right now is around what, $35, so that's pretty much pricing Callisto around $35 right now. But depending on what the supply is, that could actually end up being just an obscene valuation. So who knows, right? Like, I got to look more into that because I don't know anything.
This
Okay,
crypto
somebody's
slacker says the supply is 6.5 billion.
yeah. So yeah, and that's a huge.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Well,
so that whole
I think he's
one-to-one.
saying CLO's max supply is 6.5 billion. ETCs is at 100 million.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and that kind of, I guess that kind of clarifies just my question there. Just that alone, do we actually think one CLO is going to be worth what one Ethereum is worth after the airdrop is done? Not really. So, keep that in mind.
Any closing remarks, fellas?
Oh, this was fun.
Just
I
thank you guys
enjoy
for being
interacting.
here. These are super fun.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I enjoy
sure.
interacting with the chat box.
Everyone, make sure we're kind of working on a project, us three, along with some other guys, called Whale Reports. You can find us on Twitter at the Whale Reports. Going to be a bi-weekly newsletter on current issues, market data, stuff like that, market analysis. So go over, sign up. We're going to try and get our first report out here shortly. So don't miss it. Go check it out. The Whale. It's on Twitter. The Whale Reports. Anything to add, Killer?
I'm super excited about that. I think we have some really good proprietary data that is going to make it, I think it's going to be a good mix, or what I hope it is a good mix of entertaining, smart commentary combined with unique information. So I'm excited. I'm really talented people involved. Keep an eye out for that in the next week or two.
Also, go head on over to Instagram. Check out our Instagram account. Sounds fucking awful, but what is the handle? Twitter? Killer. I don't have it pulled up.
I think it's at CryptoSod. We're down for like a couple days because we're fucking like locked out for some reason, but we got to get it figured out and get back in. So check it out in like a day.
Yeah. Has anyone gotten on Twitter lately?
I'm on it right now on my
Twitter
Windows.
On your phone? I haven't. It's been like half a day of me not being able to get on Twitter on my phone, and I'm going through withdrawals. So, I don't know what's going on in crypto Twitter land.
I know.
Yeah, that stupid ass
freaking symbol just destroyed me.
Yeah, it's awful. All right, so everyone, thanks for listening. We're going to try and do this a lot more, so appreciate everyone tuning on. It was fun. We all had a good time, so take care. Peace out. Tip your waitress. We'll chat soon. Take it easy, guys.
Later, guys.
Peace.